a Q&A about my IVF pregnancy, remember to make sure to check out my IVF playlist with all of my videos of the entire process from egg retrieval to transfer, and to subscribe to this channel to stay up to date on my pregnancy, mom of two journey, and health, development, and parenting content. So I am answering questions submitted by my followers on my Instagram handle, PedsDocTalk, about this pregnancy, IVF, and so much more. So let's get to it. Make sure to check out all of my IVF videos for more details. I have to say, I'm hesitant sharing IVF protocol because it's so unique. My fertility doctor did check a lot of labs for me: thyroid, antiphospholipid antibodies, and natural killer cells, which is not protocol for every person going through IVF across the board. And in my case, they all turned out abnormal and needed intervention. So for the natural killer cells being elevated, I needed to do lipid infusions every 4 weeks until 24 weeks. I just graduated off of that. For antiphospholipid antibodies, I need Lovenox daily from the day of the transfer and through the end of pregnancy to reduce the risk of miscarriage or clots or stillbirth. And thyroid levels with a higher TSH means that I'm on Synthroid, none of which I needed for my son. So most of you know I had a traumatic delivery with Ryan, where my postpartum health concerns were dismissed. I ended up in the ICU, and that whole process, especially being dismissed as a medical professional or not, doesn't matter, was traumatic. This time around, I have a new OB and a new hospital I'm delivering at, with conversations on what went wrong last time. I can't guarantee that things are going to be perfect, but I do believe that communication is important. Besides that, comparing both pregnancies, in my first pregnancy, I worked out a lot more. I was doing high intensity interval training, obviously modified. I went to massages every 3 weeks. I saw a chiropractor for joint pain. I had time. This time around, I don't have time for massages and not as much time for exercise, given I have a toddler to care for. And I've done acupuncture, which for me has helped just as much, if not more, than prenatal massages and a chiropractor in my last pregnancy for joint, muscle, and stress relief. I started in June, a few months before my transfer, and got an acupuncturist that was recommended by my fertility practice. She mentioned that it's not harmful and they also don't have tons of data, but she fully supported it as long as I'm not stressed by needles. I am doing something called Japanese acupuncture, which uses smaller needles, and I really love it. It's something I'll probably continue after I deliver this baby. I started with weekly treatments, which helped some muscular and scar pain I've been having for years, and it really helped. And then I had treatments before my transfer. After transfer, treatments were not focused on the abdomen, but the surrounding areas, and I continue to go every 2 to 3 weeks. I really love it. If anything, it helps me so much with stress. I find it mind-blowing that she can feel pressure points in my body, place a needle somewhere else, like in my leg, and then that pain and that pressure point goes away. I love it. I can't say if acupuncture was the reason my transfer worked, because I wouldn't have known another way, but I do recommend acupuncture to everyone now for how it's benefited me mentally and for the physical ailments and physical stress that I carry. And like I said, I was having soreness for months, years, and acupuncture is what helped me. So I am an acupuncture fan. So I've had a non-IVF pregnancy and an IVF pregnancy, this one. But pregnancies can just be different regardless. So Ryan's pregnancy, I had very minimal symptoms in the first trimester. Some nausea, but not terrible. Like I said, I was able to still go work out, but it wasn't bad. I had some food aversions, but could still eat. And the second trimester was great. The third trimester in Ryan's pregnancy until 35 weeks was when I started to get a little more uncomfortable. I felt tight and just bloated all the time and started developing really significant swelling in my feet and elevated blood pressures. So far in this pregnancy, the first trimester with this baby had been really tough. A lot of nausea, I couldn't eat, and it actually caused me to get into a depressive episode due to my inability to work out, get out of bed, and eat. And I talk about that in my first trimester video. Happy to say that the second try is so much better. The Lovenox injections I have to do daily have been mentally straining, especially when I found out that I have to continue for the entire pregnancy. But taking these day by day and remembering the reason has really helped. I also have been way more irritable this pregnancy, and I think this has to do with the first trimester symptoms and having another toddler to care for. I found myself being way more short with Ryan or yelling more, and I had to really rein this in and recognize what was happening, and that recognition and talking about it has improved. Talking to other moms who went through similar experiences in second pregnancies helped, because many times I felt like a shitty mom, but once I talked about it, it really helped, and I started to realize that this is just a time of my life, things are gonna get better. So yeah, totally different pregnancies, just like all babies are different. I don't know if it had anything to do with the IVF pregnancy, but it was completely different. Not sponsored, but I don't buy into fancy vitamins needed, like that vitamin industry. It's all marketing. So I take Nature Made with folic acid. 400 mics of folic acid daily is recommended in pregnancy, and these have 800 micrograms. So I didn't do any special reveal. For my husband, I was feeling nauseous 5 days after the transfer, and we had gone out to dinner, and I thought it was something I ate, but my mom, Brian, and Gaurav had the same food. So I checked a pregnancy test, and it was positive 5 days after the transfer. No big reveal. He came into the bathroom, and I just showed him the test, and he said, "Oh my God. Oh my God," and he kept repeating it. I said, "Let's get to the blood test to confirm labs are trending," and that was on 10 days after transfer. And we celebrated with every beta that came back higher and increased. For Ryan, the days before the transfer, we just told him that mommy is going to get a baby put in to grow. He didn't ask any questions. He actually said, "No, no, no," another video to come about prepping him for baby's arrival. But he was a little upset from the idea of having another baby. After the transfer, I was on bed rest for 48 hours, and he immediately just started coming to me, wanting to kiss my stomach, say, "Hi, baby," which was incredible. And as my belly has grown, he asked how baby is doing, and I'm doing. And so we've been prepping him and talking more about his baby sister, and more to come on that. So we announced today on my Instagram channel, and I also put the short up on this YouTube channel as well. And yes, we're having a girl, and I'm excited. I do know that I would have been thrilled with a boy as well, but yes, I am gonna be honest that I am very excited to experience raising a boy and a girl. I'm curious if so much of the characteristics of boys versus girls are parent created by raising or by nature. So I'm excited to experience both. And Ryan is also very excited about his baby sister. I'm also just really thrilled to raise a girl with body confidence, confidence in general, a girl who is not a people pleaser, basically the opposite of all the things that I was raised. I mean, I love a lot of things that happen for me, but there's so many things that I want to change for how we would raise this girl from how I was raised. Ryan will be 3.5 when his baby sister is born. And yes, I couldn't be happier. I'm happy because this is our story and our life, and I'm just excited to make the most of it. So also Ryan has just been really blossoming developmentally in the last 4 months with development, independence, and so many things. So I think it's gonna be a great spacing. And I'm a big believer that it's supposed to be what it's supposed to be. So I'm just really excited. I also think the concept of age gaps and the perfect age gap is societally created, as families with one kid is perfect, kids close in age, kids far apart, no kids. There's no right or wrong, so I'm just happy to experience what we're going to experience. So we are doing a planned C-section, as I'm not a candidate for a VBAC, which is a vaginal birth after C-section. I have so much scar tissue from delivery and all of my abdominal surgeries, so like I said, I'm not a candidate. And frankly, I wanted the controlled environment of a known C-section, not an emergency C-section. So although it's major surgery, but when we know it's happening and there can be prep for it, it makes me less anxious. And so I just feel security in that, and I'm excited to have a known C-section happening. So we formula fed Ryan, and I'm an IBCLC, which is a lactation consultant. I became one after Ryan's delivery to provide more education and guidance for myself to help parents. With all of this, I still fully support breast or formula and know that both lead to great outcomes based on what I see in my practice. I'm leaning towards breastfeeding, pumping to experience it, but I'm extremely open to formula if it's better for my mental health, sleep needs, and lifestyle. So I know I will need help with feeding our baby since I work clinically again 3 months postpartum, so I'm open to both. If I do breastfeed, I'll likely start with breastfeeding and maybe incorporating some pumping early to encourage the ability to bottle feed, but I'm just open. And I love being open because it doesn't add pressure that it has to be one way or the other, which I wish every parent would do. So stay tuned on what I decide. This is the $1 million question and is a source of stress for me, but we first don't know where we'll be living since our lease is up in May for this house and we would like a bigger place. So that's that. We have no idea where we're going. As for childcare, I would love a full-time nanny for our kids since our baby can stay at home and Ryan is in preschool. I've thought a lot about a live-in au pair, but right now we don't have the physical space for that. But would it be great? Yes, for our lifestyle and work schedule, and also the way that PDT goes with the clinical work and PDT and all the things I do for PedsDocTalk and my husband's shift work. So we will see what happens. I know we'll find someone, but I don't know what we'll do. Having a pregnancy, regardless if it's IVF or not, is hard. And having had both, I do believe IVF pregnancies do add a whole other layer of anxiety because of the nature of how we got pregnant, the money, the injections, the time, the visits, basically have anxiety built in. Support your family and friends by asking them how they're doing and how you can help or what level of involvement they want or need from you. Like, some people are more private, some people love to talk, like myself. Some have that, open line on what they may need. I think watching these videos on my IVF playlist can be helpful to understand the ups and downs, but also recognize that no two IVF journeys are the same. Just like no two pregnancies are the same, no two children are the same, no two moms. So just show compassion, show patience, and show understanding. If you have any more questions about my IVF journey, pregnancy, clarifications, anything at all, make sure to comment below and make sure to subscribe here for more vlogs, health, development, and parenting content. And I can't wait to chat with you all next time.